Hello everyone, the 316 Lego Maniac 316 here, whatever you want to call me. Today I got my first Throwback Thursday video. This is a series where I take a look at things from the past. Throwback, if you will. This time, I got a figure that I got about 3 years ago from Five Below. Was sitting in storage and I completely forgot about. But we're going to take a look at him. It is the Mattel DC Comics Multiverse Super Friends Aquaman figure. Now, I don't know what it originally retailed for, but I got mine for $5 at Five Below 3+ years ago. He comes with a trident, he comes with a collector stand, a collector card, and of course you get the figure. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the collector stand first. So, as you can see the stand here, it comes with one peg. It says Super Friends on it. And you also get a collector card which you can slot into the base here. Looks really nice, good artwork. Love seeing artwork like that. Classic Aquaman. And on the back it says Sue and then an impression of a P. Now, this was actually a figure part of a wave of Super Friends figures. Again, this is the only figure I got though, so I'm going to permanently pose him like this. To show you those other Super Friends figures, here's the back of the box. You get Batman, Superman, and Green Lantern in that wave. As you can see, 2017 Mattel, so this figure is probably 5 years old. I know I definitely got it in 2018 or the beginning of 2019 though. Again, years ago when Five Below would have figures, just random figures. It's a decent looking box, but I'm probably gonna get rid of it, junk it. It's not really something I need to hold on to. It's kind of generic and just has Aquaman down here. I am going to keep the box on handy though for this review. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual figure and his trident. So my issue, first of all, is that you kind of have to just really like shove that trident in his hand because it's really hard to get in there. And you can't just push it down because of this bell end here. Anyway, here's the trident, unpainted, has 5 prongs rather than 3, so not really sure why. I don't know if this is animation accurate or if he even used a trident in the Super Friends show. It's been a long time since I've seen the Super Friends show. I think it's on HBO Max though. I'll have to give it a watch. But you know, decent enough trident. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. Now this figure, from what I understand, is using a lot of tooling that was on previous figures. The only thing that I think is new is the torso. I could be wrong on that, but I know that the head is reused from another Aquaman figure, and they just didn't paint in the white of the eyeballs, I guess to make it look closer to animation. But instead of painting in blue, like on the package here, because he definitely has blue eyes over here, they just painted it black. And he's got really thick black eyebrows, which is accurate, but you know, the hair is all wrong. I mean, it looks good to this photo over here, but not to that one, which is based on the cartoon series from the 60s, 70s? I think it was 60s. It's been that long. One thing to note about this figure is that the belt is also a bit incorrect. This uses the more modern, traditional Aquaman logo, whereas the older logo was basically just a V flipped upside down with the top cut off, as well as the belt being completely straight across. This one goes down into a V shape. On the back it's fine, but another thing to note, let's go back to the box here. His trunks are green, his trunks are black. So I know that over here they're black, but that's more of the shading of the figure. You know, like when they're in shadow, they use a lot of black in places where there would be shadow instead of using a darker color just to make it look more interesting for the animation, and probably because they couldn't make that color darker for some reason. But anyway, you know, it's a nice color scheme. I don't have a problem with the color scheme. Maybe the orange is just a bit too bright, but I don't think that's really an issue. You know, I don't really like when companies just sell you the same figure or sell you the same parts of a figure and just call it a different figure with a different paint job. But, you know, here, I don't think the head sculpt's bad. this obviously looks like a real person, and this looks more like a cartoon, you know? I wish it had more cartoony proportions and features, but I don't have a problem with this figure or anything else. I mean, it was $5 at Five Below. Am I really gonna complain? No. I do like the printing on the arms and the torso, but I do wish there was some on the midsection. But, beggars can be choosers. There's none on the back, though, which sucks. But, this is not a flat surface like his pectorals are. So, probably harder to print on something like that. But, they got it on the forearm here. But yeah, looks decent enough. The legs are all green. You're not missing out on anything there. It's not the same color as this. This is more of a greenish color. That's more of a tealish color. I use this just so that the light can bounce off onto the figure. But anyway, posability wise, he's got a ball joint in the head. It's really tiny though, but he can get some movement out of it. Arm wise, he can go up. And if you want him to go up any higher, you'll have to bring the arm forward, then pull it, and then pull it up. But doesn't really want to do that. He's got forearm swivel here, which seems kind of tight on my figure. I mean, he was in box for probably 4+ years. He's got an elbow, and his hand can spin for the 360. No, going that way or this way, though. No hinge joint. Speaking of hinge joint, though, he does have a hinge joint on his torso. Goes forward pretty nicely. Goes backward very little. And he's got a waist swivel. My Power Rangers figures don't even have this. I like waist swivels. It does break the sculpt, but it's par for the course. So I really like this leg joint. It's really weird looking, but it works. Because, look at how nice this kick looks. And you can still, twist the entire leg as well. It looks weird, but it's got a really good range of posability on that joint. Not bad. I kind of like it. It's grown on me. He can kick back pretty far, too. And he can kick forward that far. He's got a closer to a knee swivel, but it acts more as a thigh swivel. But that goes 360 as well. He's got a knee joint, just one, not two. Lame. And he's got an ankle joint that goes down, but not left to the right, not on a ball joint. So yeah, not a ton of posability, but honestly, it's enough, especially for a cartoon-based character. Again, getting that in there is not fun. I think I already have some stress mark on that thumb. But he does fit on the stand. It's not like a solid fit, though. He's not going to stay in the stand. But I'm going to put him back on the stand for some size comparisons. So to start off, one of my previous reviews, I have the Lego Wolverine mech armor set here. Okay, and let's see, how tall is he without the stand? Without the stand, he is close to 6.5 inches. With the stand, he's closer to 6.75 inches. I knew I was forgetting the ruler. Anyway, let's go ahead and get in another DC Comics Multiverse figure, but this time it's from the McFarlane line. So I only have the Suicide Squad movie figures to compare him to, but here's Peacemaker. And yeah, having an extra inch on that figure just makes it look really good. And obviously these are two different, toy manufacturers. Mattel is more about the toyetic qualities of a figure, whereas McFarlane's more about the likeness, the realness of the figures. And sometimes I feel that McFarlane has better posability. Obviously you got the double jointed knees and the double jointed elbows, and the fake butterfly joint, which doesn't really work, but the waist swivel is nice. He has one, but he doesn't really have as good a crunch as this figure does. And they have a thigh swivel. They don't. I mean, apples to oranges, right? But, looking at these two different figures from two different toy lines, it's interesting to see how they differ in terms of what they're trying to accomplish with their figures. And I'm not saying either one's bad. They aren't. They're just different, Just because something's different doesn't mean one of them has to be good, one of them has to be bad. They're just different. All right, and let's see. Let's do one more size comparison to one of my Power Rangers. Let's just grab Dragon Shield Black here, because he's always on hand. And honestly, these guys scale pretty decently. The Power Rangers are a little bit shorter. They're not this Aquaman, but you know, if you wanted to do that with make like a comic book display with the Power Rangers, you could do that. But yeah, that's the figure here on Throwback Thursday. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Doesn't have to be just action figures on Throwback Thursday. It could be something as simple as anything really, like a movie, TV show, blah blah blah. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like the video if you liked it. Comment below if you want to see more, or you just want to comment about the figure itself, or if you want to see anything else on this Throwback Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when videos like this are up on my channel. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Peace.